Bill Rayman, Guaranteed Rate, Los Angeles. Let's talk about credit. It's ubiquitous, it's omnipresent, it's on everybody's mind. What I find is most people know a little bit about it, and they know a lot that isn't so. So let me try and clarify some things about credit. You need credit. You need to have trade lines to establish credit. A trade line is anytime you're borrowing money from a creditor who's going to report it to the bureaus. Car loans, car leases, mortgages, credit cards, those go to the bureaus. Things like debit cards don't, because you're taking your own money. Being a authorized user on a card might get reported, doesn't really count for you because you're not responsible for the payment. So within the category of trade lines that do count for you, you need to have at least two, which is bare minimum. Many lenders won't even accept you if you only have two lines. You need three. You need to have three, and they need to be active. They can't be closed, because what you should recognize is what the credit report is telling a lender is it's a mark of your responsibility. The bank is going to lend you money. They don't care really the value of the house. That's an accepted, that's their collateral. They care about your job and stuff, but what they really care about is, if I lend you money, are you going to pay it back every month per the contract, maybe for the next 30 years? The only way they could get a measure of your responsibility is seeing what you've done with other creditors. Hence, if you've had a MasterCard for 10 years, if you've had a car loan repeatedly, you finish one car and get another loan, that all of those years count to your benefit. That's immediately the reason why you don't want to close any cards. They don't count against you. They're not looking at your total debt allowance. If you close a card, all that history goes away. It won't benefit you. If you don't have three trade lines, you're asking the bank to, you might have a great credit score, but you're asking the bank to really trust that you're going to be responsible. Banks aren't known to be trusting these days. They're going to take a worst case point of view. You don't want to be on an uphill slope trying to convince the bank that you're a good borrower. You'll come in, I've seen people come in with history of utility bills and rent payments and friends writing notes and business accounts that show that their business makes their payments. They own their business. None of that matters, because none of that is you borrowing money and paying it back regularly. Now, for many people, they have cards that they're not using. If you don't use a card for 6 months, it's effectively inert. Doesn't count for you, doesn't count against you. So, if you have a Macy's card, for example, that you haven't used in 2 years, presuming it's still active, and I'm sure Macy's will say it is, and if it isn't, Macy's will give you a new card with a discount to buy something, I'm sure. But the point is, go to Macy's and buy a $10 item. The dollar amount really doesn't matter. Buy the item, end of the month, pay it off. There'll be no interest charge. Now your card is active again. If each month you went and bought a $5 item, a $10 item, or you have a MasterCard, and each month you used it to buy your gas once a month, and you pay it off, you won't incur any interest charges, but now you're demonstrating that level of responsibility and ordinariness that the banks cherish. I'm happy to spend time helping you understand these things, and in turn, I think you'll feel very comfortable referring your friends, family, co-workers, neighbors, whoever, because you'll know that not only did I give you good information, your experience will back that up, but I'm also going to be able to help you with, if you need professional attorneys, taxes don't look right, financial advice, insurance. I want to be the hub through which you use for information. The way you treat your doctor or your lawyer or your CPA as lifetime members of your professional advice team That is how I am for many of my clients. Anything to do with real estate or finances, they can come to me. You will when you want to buy your next house, or you want to buy a guest house, or your child wants to buy a condo instead of going to living in a dorm in college. You'll be comfortable referring people to me because based on your experience, you know the information I gave you was good and you were able to make optimal decisions to your best interest, which is really what I think is defined as you're going to make decisions that make you happiest. And I'm happy to help with that.